Welcome to the deep dive. You asked us to take a closer look at Singapore, the Lion City, so that's exactly what we're doing today.
Yeah, we've gathered quite a bit of material, different sources, to really understand what makes this island nation pick.
And our mission, as always, is to sift through it all and pull out the really important, the intriguing stuff about Singapore's development and, what life is actually like there. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Yeah.
Even just starting with the basics, it's quite something.
Okay, so official name, Republic of Singapore.
Right, and it's a city-state, capital of Singapore City.
Mm.
Population, around 6 million as of 2020. All in a pretty compact space, just 721 square kilometers.
Wow, that's dense.
It is. And culturally interesting right from the start. Buddhism is the most common religion, about a third of the population.
Okay.
But they have 4 official languages: English, Malay, Mandarin, and Tamil, which really speaks to the diversity.
4 official languages, yeah, that's notable.
And the currency, Singapore dollar, the SGD.
It's just striking, isn't it, how this relatively small island gets so much global attention.
It really is. You constantly hear about certain things.
Like the world-class education, the healthcare system.
It's a reputation for being incredibly safe, a good place to live.
And that focus on sustainable development, too, plus those high life expectancy numbers.
Exactly. And, these things don't just happen by accident. There are definitely reasons behind this success.
So let's dig into some of that. Even the name Singapore has a story, right?
It does. It comes from Singapura, which is the Malay word,
Okay.
and that itself has roots in Sanskrit. Siga, meaning lion, and Pura, meaning city.
So Lion City isn't just a catchy nickname.
Not at all. It's baked into its history, its heritage. And that symbol, the Merlion,
Yeah, the half lion, half fish thing.
that one, it's become this really potent national symbol. Represents that history, but also their connection to the sea as an island.
That Merlion image definitely sticks with you. Okay, so beyond symbols, let's talk economy. Because Singapore's performance is, well, legendary.
It really is. Consistently ranked as one of the most developed nations in Asia.
And globally, too, right? Like the UN Human Development Index.
Yep, ranked 9th and 7th highest GDP per capita globally. It's known for incredible economic success, super modern infrastructure, and that cultural diversity we mentioned.
A major global financial hub, huge port.
Absolutely. Key industries driving it are finance, manufacturing, IT, and tourism is big too. It's a diverse mix.
So how did they manage that, being relatively small?
Well, they've been incredibly smart about leveraging their location and, crucially, investing in their people. That's a huge part of the story.
And I guess communication is key for that global role. Which brings us to the languages. 4 official ones is fascinating.
It is. And many Singaporeans are bilingual or even multilingual. English and Mandarin are very common combinations.
But English has a special role.
Yeah, you could say English is really emphasized. It's the language of administration, education, international business. Practically the working language for many things.
Okay, so that makes it easier for international business for students.
Exactly. It lowers the barrier to entry, makes it very attractive for international talent and companies.
Makes sense. Now, let's picture it geographically. It's a city-state, an island.
Right, down in Southeast Asia. Just off the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, about 137 kilometers north of the equator.
So pretty close to the equator. Is it just one main island?
There's the main island, kind of the diamond-shaped, and then around 60 smaller islands dotted around it.
They're just neighbors.
It's separated from Malaysia to the north by the Johor Strait, and from Indonesia's Riau Islands to the south by the Singapore Strait.
So those straits must be incredibly important shipping lanes.
Hugely important. That location has been fundamental throughout its history, and still is for its economy today.
Right. Let's touch on that history. It wasn't always the independent nation we see now.
No, its early history saw it as part of the Srivijaya Empire, a significant trading port back then on the Malay Peninsula.
And then the British arrived.
Yes, the 19th century was the colonial era. Sir Stamford Raffles established it as a trading post for the British East India Company. It grew into a major British settlement.
And it became part of the Straits settlements.
Correct, along with Malacca and Penang. That really cemented its role as a commercial hub in the region.
Then came a really difficult period, World War II.
Yeah, the Japanese occupation.
Yeah.
A very somber time in their history.
And after the war.
Post-war, it moved towards self-governance, briefly joined the Federation of Malaysia.
But that didn't last long.
No, just a couple of years. Singapore separated and became a fully independent city-state in 1965.
Facing a lot of challenges then, I imagine.
Huge challenges, limited resources, social issues, but also opportunities. And the story since 65 is one of incredible transformation into the prosperous modern nation it is today. High living standards, strong economy, quite the journey.
Definitely. Okay, let's switch gears a bit. Climate. For those of us not living there, what's it like? You said tropical, near the equator.
Yeah, think tropical, similar to Vietnam, maybe year-round sunshine is common.
So warm.
Consistently warm, yeah. Thanks to the coast, temperatures usually stay between, say, 24 degrees C and 32 degrees, so mid-70s to low 90s Fahrenheit.
Okay, that sounds nice.
But, and this is big but, it's very humid. Average humidity is high, around 84%.
Okay. So warm and sticky.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There are some variations, though. December tends to be the wettest month. You can get continuous rain sometimes.
Good to know. Any sunnier time?
February is often the sunniest, and July and August tend to be the hottest months. But, weather can vary. Climate change affects things. Always best to check a forecast.
Good advice. Right, let's circle back to the economy. We mentioned the key sectors, but can we dive a bit deeper into their strengths? Shipping, for instance.
Oh, yeah. Their port is one of the busiest in the world. Massive for global trade and logistics. They're also big in shipbuilding and repair, oil refining.
High-tech manufacturing, too.
Definitely. Advanced machinery, computer components like disk drives, semiconductors. The Jurong industrial estate was, and still is, really key to that industrial development. They've constantly moved up the value chain.
And the overall economic philosophy. You hear free market a lot.
That's the general approach, yes. Minimal government intervention in many areas,
Well,
which
right.
creates a very pro-business environment. That's a huge magnet for foreign investment.
Plus the location we talked about.
Exactly. It acts as this gateway for trade and investment between Asia and the rest of the world. Combine that with political stability and the ease of actually doing business there.
And the workforce.
Highly skilled, highly educated. They've invested massively in education and training, which pays off in productivity and attracting those international companies.
But the government isn't completely hands-off, right? It sounds like they play a strategic role.
Oh, for sure. It's not laissez-faire. The government provides significant support incentives, subsidies, excellent infrastructure to boost competitiveness in target industries.
And they push innovation.
Heavily. Lots of encouragement for R&D to make sure Singapore stays competitive as a leading hub for technology and innovation. It's more of a partnership model, you could say.
A pragmatic partnership. Okay, managing all this. How is the country actually structured administratively? It's a city-state, but it must have divisions.
It does. For broad oversight, there are 5 regions, each with a regional office handling management and development planning.
And then smaller areas.
Yeah. For more detailed urban planning, figuring out what goes where, residential, commercial, parks, they use 55 designated planning areas. Very important in a place where land is precious.
Makes sense for careful development. And for politics. How are representatives elected?
Through electoral divisions or constituencies. That's how members of parliament get elected.
Okay. And at the local level, especially with all the public housing.
That's where town councils come in.
Yeah.
They're responsible for managing and maintaining the public housing estates, the HDB flats, where many people live, looking after local infrastructure, parks, that sort of thing, within those residential areas.
So layers of governance for efficiency.
Right. The goal is efficient management and good community services across the board.
It sounds very organized. Now, underpinning all this activity is the legal system. We know Singapore has a reputation for being safe, low crime. What makes the legal system stand out?
Well, a key thing is its reputation for efficiency and professionalism. The courts generally handle cases quite quickly and are seen as fair.
Which must give businesses confidence.
Absolutely. That certainty and transparency create a stable environment for business and investment.
Yeah.
And yes, the laws are quite strict.
That's linked to the low crime rate.
Directly. The strict regulations are very much aimed at maintaining public order and safety. And it works. It has one of the lowest crime rates globally. That's obviously attractive for residents and investors alike.
Is there a strong emphasis on fairness?
Yes, the principle of the rule of law is central. There's an independent judiciary and a focus on applying laws strictly and ideally equally.
Any guiding philosophy behind the laws themselves?
It's often described as very pragmatic. Laws are frequently designed with specific outcomes in mind, like promoting social harmony or facilitating economic development. Policies tend to be practical, flexible, and they get updated often.
Practical and adaptable. What about things like intellectual property? Important for a tech hub.
Very strong protections there. A robust legal framework for IP rights, which definitely helps foster innovation in tech and creative industries.
And resolving disputes.
Singapore has also become a major international center for alternative dispute resolution mediation, arbitration. The reliability of the legal system means parties trust they can get fair and efficient resolution there.
Okay, so a stable, predictable, efficient foundation. Now, getting around in this efficient city-state, transportation is another area often praised.
It really is world-class. The road quality is excellent, and traffic management is generally very effective. Driving is usually smooth and safe, though car ownership is expensive.
Right, so public transport is key.
Absolutely key. The mainstays are the buses and the mass rapid transit, the MRT system.
Mm.
Both have really extensive networks covering almost the entire island, and they're very user-friendly.
Easy to pay.
Super easy. Smart card systems like the EZ Link card are used across the board. Tap and go.
And the MRT itself, the subway.
It's fantastic. Modern, very clean, reliable. Trains come frequently. It's just a very convenient and efficient way to get around the city quickly.
Any other options? Taxis.
Taxis are available, yes, and ride-sharing too. Can sometimes be tricky to get one during peak hours, though. There are also water taxis, mostly used for tourism, offering different views of the city.
But day to day, it's mostly bus and MRT for residents.
Overwhelmingly, yes, they're the backbone.
Makes sense for a dense urban place. Okay, let's talk money. The Singapore dollar, SGD. Anything unique about it?
Well, it's the official currency. Symbol is dollar, or often dollar, to distinguish it from other dollars.
Right.
It's freely convertible, managed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, the MAS. They manage it against a basket of currencies based on trade, rather than targeting a specific exchange rate against, say, the US dollar.
Interesting approach. Any idea of its value, roughly?
Just as an example, back in April 2023, one SGD was worth about 17,600 Vietnamese dong. Obviously, exchange rates fluctuate constantly.
Sure. And the physical money, has it changed much?
There have been, I think, 3 major redesigns of the notes and coins over the years, but the fundamental value and how people use it hasn't changed. Still the same dollar.
Okay. Stable currency, stable system. Now, let's move into the more intangible aspects, the culture, the people. Singapore is famous for being multicultural.
It absolutely is. That's probably one of its defining characteristics. It's a unique blend, really, because of the mix of people.
What are the main groups?
You have large communities of Chinese, Malay, Indian heritage, plus Eurasians and groups like the Peranicans who have a unique, mixed heritage themselves. Each group brings its own traditions, languages, food, festivals.
And how does that mix work day to day? Is there real integration?
There's a very strong emphasis, both from the government and community groups, on fostering harmony and integration. It's actively promoted.
How so?
Through policies that encourage mixing, like in public housing allocation, and through celebrating the diversity. Social etiquette also plays a part. Politeness, respect for customs are highly valued.
And the festivals must help.
Definitely. You have Chinese New Year, Hari Raya Puasa, Deepavali, Christmas, all celebrated publicly. It's a chance for everyone to experience and respect different traditions.
And the food. We have to mention the food again.
You really do. It's probably the most delicious manifestation of that multiculturalism. You get this amazing fusion of Chinese, Malay, Indian, Peranakan flavors. Hawker centers are incredible for trying it all.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. And the languages reinforce this too.
Yeah, having English, Mandarin, Malay, and Tamil as official languages reflects that diversity. Many people switching between languages easily.
What about the physical environment? Architecture, art.
You see a blend there too. Old colonial buildings next to cutting-edge modern skyscrapers. Structures like Marina Bay Sands or the Esplanade Arts Center are really iconic, symbols of modern Singapore.
And a lively arts scene.
Very vibrant. Lots of galleries, theaters, concerts, annual festivals. It attracts both locals and international visitors. It's a culturally rich place.
Okay, last big topic, education. Singapore's system is often lauded globally. What are the key features?
It is highly regarded, known for being rigorous and achieving high results in international comparisons.
Is it compulsory?
Yes, for citizens aged 6 to 15, primary and secondary education in public schools is free.
What do they study?
The curriculum covers the core subjects: English, maths, science, their mother tongue language like Mandarin, Malay, or Tamil, social studies, plus arts, music, PE. Pretty comprehensive.
I heard they stream students quite early.
Yes, based on academic performance, usually after primary school, students go into different tracks like express, normal academic, normal technical, or now more subject-based banding. The idea is to tailor the pace and curriculum.
Interesting. What happens after secondary school?
Various paths. Junior colleges are like pre-university preparation. Polytechnics offer diploma courses, more applied and vocational. And the Institute of Technical Education, or ITE, focuses on technical skills.
And universities?
Yep, a range of universities offering undergraduate and postgraduate degrees across many fields. Some are very highly ranked globally.
Is there a particular focus within the system?
There's definitely a strong emphasis on STEM science, technology, engineering, maths. That's seen as crucial for the economy, for driving innovation.
And they try to make learning practical.
Yes, through things like the Applied Learning Program, ALP, and Learning for Life Program, LLP. These aim to give students hands-on experiences, develop problem-solving, critical thinking, connect learning to the real world.
Who oversees all this?
The Ministry of Education, the MOE. They set the policies, the curriculum framework, and maintain standards. They're known for constantly reviewing and updating things.
It sounds very structured and results-driven.
It is. And clearly effective in many ways, which is why it attracts so many international students, too.
Why do they come?
Good quality teaching. The costs can be more reasonable than some places in the West or Australia. Plus, it's a very safe and well-organized environment to live in.
Well, that was quite the deep dive into Singapore. We've covered a huge amount.
Yeah, from the history, that multicultural fabric, the powerhouse economy, the smooth infrastructure, right through to that high-achieving education system.
What really stands out is that journey, isn't it? From trading posts to this incredibly developed nation, there are some real insights there about progress and quality of life.
Definitely. For me, some of the aha moments are always around how deliberately they seem to have planned things and how they've leveraged that unique location.
Right, and understanding the origin of the name, the Merlion, it adds layers.
Mm.
So for you listening, what stood out most? Maybe you're curious now about their urban planning in more detail or those green initiatives.
Yeah, plenty more to potentially explore there. Their approach to water management, for example, is fascinating.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Considering Singapore's amazing development and this unique blend of cultures, what lessons, if any, could other places learn? And also, what challenges might Singapore face trying to keep up this success story in the future?
Good questions to ponder. It's certainly a unique case study.
Indeed. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Lion City.